Hey everyone. Oh boy, it's been a hot minute since I made any kind of channel update. I was gonna make one back in January, but just got way too busy. Been traveling out of state for the last couple months to California for work. It's just been life's just been nuts. And I'm also getting over seasonal allergies now, so if my voice sounds weird, that's why. I guess I'll start with giving an update on things. There's the dog. The layout is getting a massive facelift. We've expanded a lot in the last couple months. Even with me being gone, I've had a lot of time to, at least enough time to sit down, collect some things, and get a few things in order. Let's start with the curves have been widened to actually 34 and 32 because I found out that apparently my track center on this side was off by about 2 inches. They're about maybe 3, I don't remember exactly. So this enabled the curves to be wider. I made a set of curve sweeps, 3D printed a set of curve sweeps anyway from, I forget where I got these from. Worked pretty well. Curves still aren't perfect. Locomotives, the big boys and Challenger anyway, will knock up against passenger cars over here, but it's not too bad. It doesn't cause any derailments unlike previously. The spacing is a lot better than it was, and I'm honestly to the point now, I've worked on it so much that I'm just gonna kind of leave it, and I might redo it one more time, but like I said, it's not causing any derailments. So yard is completely powered. We do have a few new faces in terms of rolling stock. The Santa Fe 40-footer or 50-footer's new. The SP Atlas boxcar kit here is new. Tank car's new. There's a couple new faces around here. Some of them are still boxed up a little bit. At the moment, oh, we have vehicles now. Excuse me. Also found a stash of figures. We have a 3D printed bulldozer. Don't even know if this is error accurate, but it looked cool, so I made it. What else? We have structures, signal box, and water tower. I need to get a coaling facility over here somewhere. That's gonna go somewhere in here. I haven't made up my mind exactly where. It's gonna straddle these 3 tracks is the plan. It's gonna be, I'd hope to get the Union Pacific or variant of the UP 650 ton coal tower, but that's to be determined. In terms of track power, that's actually what I'm currently focusing on right now. Don't mind that. I'm putting drops in places to power everything finally so that we have access to all of the layout and engines aren't stalling. I had to solder these because I could not get, for some reason, no matter what rail joiner I used, I couldn't get the track to make electrical continuity, so I had to solder it there. Generally don't like soldering except on curves, but for some reason with this layout I had to in a couple cases. And the basement stays really, really dry, and the climate doesn't really change down here at all, winter or summer. So things should be okay. And it's a small enough layout that it should be all right, like I said. So currently, oh, we also have the industry section now. So to give the layout a little more operational interest, I threw in this kit by Kibri. I think that's how you say their name. It's a German European company of some kind. Don't exactly know what prototype this is off of, but it looked like something that I could use. The kit was only 20 bucks anyway, so it's been a fun build. Still in progress, but I figured that I'd go ahead and throw it down to get an idea of where I wanted things. Also pulled off the Tyco automatic boxcar thing, so it's not hooked up right now. I'm actually in the process of rewiring it to mount it under the table, so that the button's going to be out here somewhere maybe, or it'll just sit. Maybe it'll just sit there. I haven't made up my mind yet. I might just leave it as is and just drill down, wire it in under here, make a shelf for the DC power pack, because this thing is basically going to run all the lighting and other things, maybe turn out motors if I ever get that far. I don't know if I want to run it off the DCC bus yet. So yeah, all I have is just one platform there for, I think it's going to be cattle, other stuff I'm not sure. It doesn't, nothing really specific. You get a spur back here to the unloading platform for the box car as well, Tyco stuff as well. And then you got the main one here, which also has a passing loop / storage track. So that way, if you're doing switching, you can pull cars in, get the locomotive out there, and then bring it back around and kick things in as you need. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And of course, you guys are going to want to see the roster update because I've been teasing a lot of stuff for a long time now. So already seen this beautiful thing, the SPGS4 from MTH. Paid $61 for this, all said and done. And then we've got the UP Steam boys. Finally got more UP Steam engines. So we have the Brass Mountain, while that's currently in pieces and needs a repaint because I didn't do a very good job with it. So we've got a Broadway Limited MT73 that I sadly ruined the finish on. If you saw the community post that I made, was trying to take some fingerprints off and decided to use a tiny bit of alcohol, and it just exploded and went from there. So engine still runs, it's cosmetic. Detail wise, it's fine. It's missing one handrail. Paid $250 out the door for this engine, I'm pretty sure. So not terrible. It's QSI. Runs pretty good though. It does need some adjustments, but it does run really good. Then we have probably the best value for money purchase. It's a Lionel UP Challenger. This thing is new old stock. I paid $295 for this new old stock. It's never been run. I am the first person to ever run it. Didn't have any wear on the wheels. I did have to clean the grease out and do that. And this engine, while it is absolutely beautiful and runs like a charm, super strong, it is actually the reason that I had to relay all the curves, because if your curves are not perfect, this thing will make your life miserable. It derailed every single time it entered a curve, because part of it is because of the way Lionel designed the stupid thing, and I'll get into that when I make the review video. That is coming. I've teased that a bit, but that is on the way. The Challenger is going to get a review video. But just because of the way Lionel designed the drivetrain, it basically makes this thing rigid as a board, straight as a board, and it doesn't like to negotiate curves unless they're preset absolutely perfect. So it basically, it takes my curves now just fine, but it also it has less articulated range than the big boys. And of course, speaking of big boys, this is the other big purchase. This one was kind of an impulse buy. I wasn't really planning on getting this, but I saw a guy listing a 1984 River Rossi Big Boy. This is the 4015. Sorry, my shadow's getting in the way. 4015, and he wanted it for $180. Said it didn't run. I offered him $150. Probably could have gone a little less, but you know, it was $30 less than what he wanted. He almost immediately accepted the offer and then shipped the engine out same day. So I think with shipping, this came out to $175. So not terrible for a big boy, even though it is old, but it runs really good now. I got it cleaned up. I am missing the marker lights, sadly. They broke. And I'm also missing the rear axle off the tender, so I got to fix that. Installed a Katie. I was on the fence about whether or not I wanted to keep this engine, but I realized that I'm not really going to get another big boy for $175 anytime soon. They're all, unless it's basically junked, they're all upwards of $200 at this point. I got pretty lucky with the Challenger, in my opinion. So the truth is, even though this is kind of outdated compared to the Broadway model, I am going to go ahead and keep this because, in fact, I've actually already started the process of converting it to DCC. I temp hardwired a 9-pin plug in here and pulled the decoder out of the S2 to run in this for a while. And then I found out that it needed more weight, and then I added weight. I put a bunch of little like lead pellets that I had from a previous engine in the domes because they're hollow. Glued them in, and then realized that the engine has a very noticeable lean to one side, and because of that lean, it can only run on the outside loop. Otherwise, this one will cause derailment issues with other cars, especially freight. Passenger cars, not so much, but freight, this thing will knock that stuff over. So this is going to need some adjustments. I pulled the decoder back out. It does not run. I mean, it does run actually, but it's going to get a motor swap. I ordered 2 new 5-pole coreless motors that are coming in at some point. They were supposed to be here by now, but they're not. So yeah. And then of course you got 4014. Nothing's really changed with my favorite. Other than just, you know, it's getting older. Approaching having it. I've had it for over 6 months now. Still running great. No complaints at all. Minus the occasional front handrail over the headlight keeps popping off kind of thing, but oh well, that is what it is. It's still a good runner. So yeah, the fleet is expanded to 8 powered locomotives currently, or 8 locomotives, and I'm 9 actually. Take that back because you count that brass one. You got Thomas over there in the corner, but he doesn't really count. He's just for memes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else for the layout as it stands. Probably throw in a few clips of the trains running around. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Hopefully, like I said, I'm going to have reviews out of the Challenger and the Mountain Type in the near future. Or maybe you guys want me to take a look at something else. Just sound off in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll check in with you later.